with the process of liberalization, things have been changing drastically. Now today, as an Indian, every year you can buy assets abroad to the extent of $200,000 per calendar year. Lot of people know about it, but very few have really explored that. Now, if you are in the investment game, can you imagine the type of universe which opens up to you? You can invest in any international markets. You can buy real estate in any international market. So I think that's one thing very big which has taken place. But always the fear is, if I invest in dollar, what if the dollar depreciates? So that's why our mind is always giving us reasons that let's not get into it, or it would be too cumbersome. In fact, we have started opening accounts. My account, international account, took precisely 15 days to open, and everything is working so smooth. Everything is through the internet. There is no need for you to do anything because all the systems are in place. You send your money and you execute your trades, and every day you are able to see your investments. Now, since last 6 months, of course, we have talked about this investment idea at FOF at least about 6 to 7 months back. And now things are happening very smoothly. We have already started doing research on some of those international companies. And one such company which really has excited me as well as Rajeev is Google. Now Google forms a part of each one of us lives. In fact, about 3 months back when my son Sahil had addressed our Rotary, he had talked about cloud computing and he had given a idea that what is Google? It's all about cloud computing. However, when we went into the depths of the research of that company, it is really startling, and it is about to change our lives. It has already started changing the lives. Rajeev will take you that through the presentation, and it's going to be really a great presentation. Today you know something that you don't require to know a foreign language because Google enables it. And Rajeev will give you a demo on his own iPad how it is done. Anyway, Rajeev, please take the floor. No.
Before we start today's proceeding, just wanted a quick show of hands. Who are all the people who don't use computers at all in this room? Don't use computers at all. Okay, Sunil bhai. But I promise you, even people who are not using computers will, at the end of the presentation, feel like using one, or even if you don't start using computers, somewhere or the other you will end up interacting with this company, because today technology is not about languages, it is not about having expensive gadgets, it's not even about literacy. So I see a world where even illiterate people who don't have any background in English and cannot even read their local languages, they will be able to access the information technology world. So that is what I wish to demonstrate today. I'll just quickly take you through 2 videos. The first is especially meant for Farhad bhai. I'm giving him some hints on how our next office should look like. Very well. Sound good, right? Any sound?
all goes down at Google's main headquarters, aka the Googleplex. One giant funhouse.
When I first met the founders, I walked into our office and found Larry Page on rollerblades and Sergey Brin bouncing around on a physio ball, and I knew this was no normal standard company.
That's an understatement. Spanning over 1 million square feet, the Googleplex is 2.5 times the size of Giant Stadium. Comprised of 16 buildings, which house the thousands of employees who are lucky enough to work here. And just like the campus, the perks are endless.
You open your eyes, it's hard to miss them.
One of the most crowd-pleasing perks? That would be the food.
Food here at Google is part of our culture. We have a variety of restaurants serving all sorts of different styles of food, from the tapas, small plates, or ethnic foods, Indian to Asian to South American.
That's right. Instead of your typical little lunchroom, Google has 18 different cafes serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The food is really credible because it's so good an option.
And the best part? All the meals are free. That's right. Free. What could be better than a free lunch? Free barbecue. In the summer, Google takes it outside for some serious grilling. But if that doesn't get your mouth watering, how about this?
One of the cafes is called Cafe 150. Everything served there comes from within 150 miles of Google. It's all delicious, healthy, mostly organic, and locally grown food.
And if eating locally is eco-friendly, Google takes it one step further, because they grow their own food right on campus.
Our employees are excited with the cafe that says Google strawberries and key lime Google pie.
But even that's not enough free food for these employees. Because Google makes sure there are unlimited munchies within a few feet of everyone's desks.
We're about 40 feet from where each other's desk.
And unlike your average workplace, Google provides more than an old coffee pot and creamer. They hook it up fancy Java style. And oh yeah, it's all on the house.
I get up from my desk quite a bit to make myself espresso to keep going.
But if employees feel like they've had too much to eat, Google's got the perk to take care of it. Not one, not two, but 4 fully loaded gyms. And you guessed it, they're all free.
Having the gym here at Google has been great for me because it's allowed me to train for 2 marathons. I've been much healthier and happier, and definitely getting those lunch runs in has been perfect for getting back to work. It's made me so much more productive.
And for those employees gunning for a six-pack, Google even has personal trainers on site.
It's a great asset having personal trainers here. They really work one-on-one with you and help keep our workforce fit.
After feeling the burn, there's only one thing left to do. Get a massage. Once a year on their birthdays, these lucky Googlers get a free rub-down.
Anything that's bothering you today? Neck, shoulders, back?
Feeling sleepy after that? Employees can nap in sleeping pods while listening to some relaxing music. Still not enough TLC? There's also a doctor's office to take care of any aches and pains.
Hi, I'm Dr. Razavi. How are you today?
And of course, no doctor's bill. But Google doesn't just take care of their employees' bodies. The company also does their laundry. That's right. Google provides on-site laundromats for their employees' dirty clothes.
You can show up for your day with a bag of laundry over your shoulders, throw your laundry in our washroom area, go to work, and go home with your laundry done.
Doing laundry at the office is a Google tradition. Founders Larry and Sergey have been pulling this act for years.
They would work in this garage at the home of a friend. They would also do their laundry. The owner of the home used to complain they would cost her more money in utility bills than they were actually paying in rent.
I just got out of work, I went to the gym, worked out for an hour, and now I'm here doing my laundry. How cool is that? Where else can you do this, right?
Only at Google. But even with all these amazing perks, sometimes Googlers want to leave the campus. And when they do, the company provides the wheels. And no, these aren't your average gas guzzlers.
We have both plug-in Priuses and regular Priuses. So any employee that wants to check out a car and do some errands, they just have to use this really simple electronic key, and they zip away. And when they're done, you just plug the car back in, and then the car gets recharged.
Free car? You better believe it. And when these lucky employees come back to Google after running some errands, there's only one place left to go. The sleeping pods. Hold up, we're not done. Because the Googleplex in Mountain View, California is just one of 68 other extreme Google workplaces around the world. First up, Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Here, Google employees can grab a quick nap, not in a pod chair, but in one of 4 indoor hammocks. Next, Beijing, China. In the high-tech digs of Tsinghua Science Park, employees have their team meetings in beanbag chairs. And when it's break time, they're hanging out in one of 10 micro kitchens, playing ping pong. But Google's most extreme international workplace has got to be Zurich, Switzerland. Google created this engineering office with one thing in mind, to keep their 400 employees happy. So they brought in a psychologist to find out what would gratify these Googlers. And this is what they came up with. A lounge that houses exotic fish in an aquarium full of 1,850 liters of water to calm the minds of these hard workers. Then there's the Victorian Library for a change of scenery, so these Googlers can feel like they've escaped the office on their coffee break. And when they want a little privacy, they can go into one of 100 different pods, with themes ranging from a Swiss chalet to an igloo satellite. Moving between floors? Why take the stairs when there's this fire pole? That's right, a fire pole. And for their lunch break, these fun-loving employees wanted the quickest way to get to the cafeteria. The answer? This slide. Yep, at Google, the perks are out of this world, around the world.
Well, if you can't be a Google employee, I have the next best thing to do. One can be a Google shareholder. I'll explain how. And surprisingly, even after all this, they are making a lot of money. So we'll come to that part.
Are you enjoy all these perks as a shareholder?
You have to buy them yourself, but they'll make enough money for you to be able to afford them. I'll just take a few seconds video now next before I start the presentation. This is an Idea Cellular ad which came out, so I thought it is relevant to the context today.
की नौकरी लग गई मुंबई में, अब भाषा नहीं आती तो कैसे चलेगा, है ना? क्या बोला? सर जी कह रहे बोलने के लिए ना किसी भाषा की जरूरत नहीं थी.
Okay. See, we've been quite bored with all the regular boring stocks that we discuss each time. People are saying it's getting too monotonous. I said today let's get a racy stock, something exciting. So, although we are a bit late coming to the .com boom, in fact more than 10 years now. So this was the hot fashion in the late 90s and early 2000s, but nevertheless, better late than never. So today we'll be discussing the .com business. In the late 90s or early 2000s, the promise was that internet will change the world. And if we look at reality 10 years from that day, it has actually changed the world. My daughter was born in 2004 and she will have seen only one kind of a world. She will not have seen the two kinds of world that I have seen. I have seen pre-internet world and post-internet world. She will have seen only the post-internet world. If you look at classifieds, you have a lot of websites now which print classified ads. So a lot of job ads now go to websites like Naukri.com, Monster.com. Matrimonial ads go to things like Shadi.com. No one buys CDs anymore. People just download their music from the internet, load it to their iPods and whatnot. Travel agent. I'm sure even if you have not booked a ticket directly, air ticket directly, someone would have done it for you through the website. So these kind of air tickets are no longer seen nowadays. You just get printouts. Encyclopedias. People refer to Wikipedias nowadays. So anything you want, you just go online and search for whatever you want to, what information on. And the best part is it never gets outdated. So encyclopedias, you have to keep replacing them as time goes by. This is updated virtually every second. Stock market pages. In somewhere in '92, there was a big business of selling Bhav copies. So people would sell the daily stock market pages and there would be a big queue to purchase those. Today you can get up to the second stock prices on your computer. Libraries, video libraries. Again, a device smaller than this can carry your entire library. It can carry something somewhere about 3,000 or 4,000 books. In a few years' time, probably textbooks will be outdated. A kid will just need to take a device like a Nook or a Kindle to school, and all the course material from maybe kindergarten to college will be contained there. And incidentally, Amazon.com today sells more e-books than printed books. It's already here. People, those of you who own shares in companies would have got these one-page letters from companies saying, as part of the green initiative, we'll be sending annual reports to you by email. We'll not be printing those and sending it to you anymore. Possibly those same things will happen to these financial ads which come in the newspapers. Yellow pages, no one refers to them anymore. People just search for it on the computer or on their mobile phones. Photo albums, where people would take a picture, take out the roll, develop the roll, take prints, put it in an album, show it to visitors. No one does that anymore. Put it on Facebook, Picasa, wherever, Flickr. So actually the new economy is here. It's alive and kicking. It's such a mature business today that the so-called new economy is actually today old economy. But things have moved fast. Today people are calling companies like Microsoft and Yahoo dinosaurs. So they are belonging to the past age. That is what people say today. These are businesses, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. These are companies which have shown solid earning potential. It is not a valuation based on eyeballs, which was a metric in '99. Eyeballs were how many eyes see your web page. Based on that, people were driving valuations. It's not about that anymore. It's about how much cash is coming to your bank account. And again, we have something called a .com 2.0. So some of the new .coms are getting such high valuations that people are saying we are probably moving to another bubble. So companies like Pandora and LinkedIn, which recently came out with IPOs, are getting fancy valuations over there, and they still don't make profits. So the company we are discussing today is a company which is as close to a psychic as can be. The company we are discussing is Google. It almost imagines what I am looking for. So if I type KAT in my browser, it tries to guess what I am searching for. Some of you may be familiar with this instant search. So it tries to give me suggestions. Most probably I am searching for Katrina Kaif, and it gives me results even before I have typed in Katrina Kaif. Probably I am searching for Kate Middleton if I am interested in the royal family and all that. Or maybe I am searching for Kate Winslet. So I have typed only KAT, the remaining is Google's suggestion. So if you have a fast enough internet connection and you have enabled instant search, this is the kind of results that you see. This was just in jest, but if I am searching for instant space CO, it is guessing I am searching for instant coffee, and it's also showing me a advertisement on the right hand side to fulfill the need that I have. Now, typically advertising was something which was thrust upon people. If you want to see this movie on TV, you have to bear with interruptions and ads in between. That was the deal between media providers and consumers. It's not true here anymore. I am looking for instant coffee and someone is providing me instant coffee. Also, you see all these kind of display ads on a lot of sites that you visit. Again, somewhere there is a company called DoubleClick, which is part of the Google fold, which decides which ads to show you. And the fact that, or today what I want to highlight is that these are not at the fringe. People will say, oh, this is only for the urban people, this is only for the English speaking people, internet penetration in India is very low, internet will not take off in countries like India and Africa and all that. Last year, Facebook had around 55 lakh subscribers. Today the number is 2 crore 85 lakh subscribers in India. This is in India, I am not talking about worldwide. In India. The readership of Dainik Jagran is 5.4 crores. So if we go down the line, Facebook is the number 5 media in India with reach. Far ahead of Times of India at number 11. And will it cross number 1 pretty soon? I am quite confident. If it went from 55 lakhs to 2.85 crores in 1 year, how much time will it take to go from 2.85 crores to more than 5.5 crores? And mind you, this is readership, this is not circulation. Readership assumes that one printed copy will be read by 4 people, 5 people, whatever the assumption is there behind this. This is actual number of people who have gone to the site, given their user ID and password and created a user ID password to interact with other people. So mind you, it is not at the fringe, it is coming to the core of our existence. There is this famous saying which is popular among media people, that half of the money I spend on advertising is wasted. Trouble is, I don't know which half. With internet, you exactly know what is happening to your advertisements. typical advertising works like this. CPM does not mean Communist Party Marxist, it is something else in media terminology. It's cost per M. M is 1000, cost per 1000 impressions. That is the metric traditional advertising uses. So, if you want to publish an ad in a newspaper, or if you want to put up a hoarding or to put up something on the internet, people say that these many thousand people will see your ad, so this should be the cost. However, that advertising may be wasted. You don't know whether it's reaching the relevant audience or not. On internet, instead of cost per 1000 impressions, you can pay on cost per click. So cost per click is, we saw this ad for tea and coffee premixes. If this person has opted for a cost per click model, he won't pay any money for this ad being displayed. Only when someone clicks on this ad and goes to the website will this person have to pay Google. So that is the cost per click model. Google in fact has gone one step further with a lot of advertisers. It says clicks don't give you result. If the person comes to your website and closes the browser and goes away, you don't gain out of it. You gain only when you get a relevant inquiry. So they allow you to define a lead. So if you have a contact form on your website, name, email address, telephone number, submit. Only when someone fills up those details and clicks submit, you will have to pay in a cost per lead kind of mechanism. And they also have something called a click to call ad. In the click to call ad, it's still experimental, but what happens is there is a phone icon next to the ad. You click on that, it will ask you for your mobile number or landline number, whatever number. You provide that number, Google will dial you and Google will dial the merchant. It will connect those two calls and you can directly speak to the representative. Only when that happens, you pay.
Pay who? Pay how?
You pay Google.
Right. For connecting.
For connecting the call.
Connecting your rupees or what?
You can pay in rupees.
How? Right.
You can pay by credit card, you can pay by check, whatever you desire.
Can I open my account and they will...
You can open an account. If you have something in mind, I can do it for you right away and your ad will start running in 5 minutes. If you, with the credit card. If you want to pay by check, of course you have to correspond in them and work out the payment mechanism. But with a credit card, it can be up and running in 5 minutes. So if we see how things are changing, yellow pages have been replaced by search queries. So something like Google is yellow pages for the world, it's not for a particular city. The hoardings and banners that we see on street, those are being supplemented by display advertising on various web pages that we visit. Newspaper magazines are being replaced by online versions. And something which is called broadcasting, which is television, will very soon get replaced by something called narrowcasting. I'll come to what I mean by narrowcasting. We'll discuss this in detail. And all these ads can be tailor-made. They can be tailor-made to your location. So if I am searching for instant coffee mixes in Mumbai, I'll get a different ad versus someone who's searching for instant coffee mixes in Bangalore. It will know what location you are searching from. It will depend on time of the day. It can potentially take into account your gender, your age, your marital status, your income level, your interest. All of these can be taken into account. We'll see that. So this is the Facebook's ad creation page. So when I have said I want to advertise in India, it gives me the estimated reach. These many people are Facebook subscribers in India. If I, instead of India, if I put Mumbai, it will tell me how many people in Mumbai, and so on and so forth. I can say from age this to age this. I can give an age range. Men, women, activities, there's a big list of activities, birthday, all of these. So depending on your interest, this is not the complete list. Single, engaged, in a relationship, married, it's complicated, whatever. Education level. So you can select these kind of things for targeting. The company that we are talking about today, Google, has also created something called Android. For those not familiar with Android, it's an operating system. When you buy a new phone today, if it's from a company called Samsung, or if it's from Motorola, or if it's from HTC, chances are that it runs on Android operating system. With iPhones, this is the only phone you can buy. If you don't like the shape, if you don't like the design, take it or leave it. There's no choice. With this operating system, you can have a manual keyboard if you so desire. You can have a slide out design. You can have larger phones, smaller phones, expensive phones, cheaper phones. So phones start from as low as 4,000-5,000 and go all the way up to 30,000-40,000. So this is also poor man's iPhone. It has virtually all the features of iPhone, in some cases even better. And this is given out to phone manufacturers for free. This is Apple iPhone. This is the market share of Apple iPhone in the US, not worldwide, mind you. This is Android. Look at the way it's gaining. And in poor countries, Android is way ahead of iPhones because of the cost factor. Entry prices 5,000 and 7,000, obviously it's going to gain over iPhone, which starts only at 30,000-40,000 rupees. Another thing that Google has within its fold is something called YouTube. It's a video sharing website. All the FOF sessions that we have, we upload it to YouTube. So if you miss some of those, you can watch them online. Not only it has FOF sessions, it has maybe a few thousand Bollywood full-length movies if you so choose to see them. So I just bought a TV a few days back. It comes with Wi-Fi connection. You can stream all these movies on your LCD TV today. The technology is here. Increasingly, each and every TV will have internet connection by default. So just like you have a plug-in for your cable wire, internet connection will be mandatory. And this is where narrowcasting will work. Today, all the episodes of the TV serial Mahabharata are on YouTube. You can watch them at your convenience. A recent movie like Band Baja Bharat is here. So Yash Raj Films has its channel on YouTube. Rajshri Films has its channel on YouTube. Various movies are there. If you are living in the US, you can watch movies streaming from Netflix. You can watch TV serials from sites like Hulu. So why should people bother to do these things online rather than on traditional TV sets? And why should advertisers bother with this medium? That is the question. See, here it's on demand. if you want to see Band Baja Bharat today, you can see it right here, right now. You don't have to rely on Star Movies or Zee Cinema to telecast it. You can watch it when you want. You don't have to stick to their timing. So that is the advantage for the consumer. For the advertiser, the benefit is a benefit of narrowcasting. If as an advertiser you want to advertise only to people living in South Mumbai who are males between the age 30 to 50, who are married, who are postgraduates, you can choose to do it in this medium. Everybody who watches Band Baja Bharat on YouTube will not be shown the same ad. Ad segmented according to viewers. IPL matches were put on YouTube live. So people sitting in offices who did not have cable TV or DTH connections could watch the telecast on their PC monitors. So that is what is happening. It is already here. If you have not tried it, chances are in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years time, you will end up using this. And you don't need to be tech savvy. This thing will go into your computer, it will operate from your remote, and you are ready to go. The entire world's maps are on Google, so you can navigate anywhere. All your devices, if you are driving in a car, you say I want to go from point A to point B, it will give you directions, it will tell you where to take a turn, all of that is there. And not only that, it can also give you the actual street views
Live.
Not live, recorded, but if you have never been to a particular city or a place, you can visualize it as if you are standing on that street. I'll just show you a demo. I don't have a very good internet connection here, but let's see if we can get it.
It's a GPS.
It's not a GPS based thing, it's a different technology. I'll just try and show it to
Google has
you.
already started something in Bangalore.
They were trying to shoot this in Bangalore. Our government has stopped it, but according to me, it's not a very good thing to do. You should allow it because terrorists anyway will come and do their own recording if they so wish. This is a very big, there is a very big potential to attract tourists by using this. So this is the map of New York City. Now let us say you want to go on 5th Avenue, we'll try and go there virtually. So there is this man over here, I'll try and drag him to 5th Avenue. See, now you are standing here. Now when you have, it's almost like you have been teleported there. After you have landed here, first thing you would want to do is look around. See up, see down. That's what we can do here. You have a 360-degree view of this place. There's a Omega store here. You want to look up at the building? So that's a really tall skyscraper over there. You want to walk around? Simultaneously it's showing you the points of interest. There's a restaurant or this shop or all that is there. Everything you can keep seeing. You can take turns. If you want to turn into some lane, there's a university club over there. So if you want to go to London, you can use this. If you want to go to San Francisco, you can land up over there. And basically all of this that I am talking about is free for the consumer, whether it's Google search, whether it's all these ads that have been shown, those are the people who pay Google, and those are the people who happily pay Google because they get charged only when they get business. They don't get paid whether they get results or not. So traditional advertising works. We made our best efforts. Now best of luck to you.
You're doing this, are they earning money because of doing this?
Sorry?
Are they earning money?
Currently no. If I click on something, they will get money. If I click on the shop, yeah. So you can virtually go anywhere in the world. Their plan is to cover the world. As of now, they haven't covered everything. They tried to do it in Bangalore. They were stopped by the police.
So is it a profitable idea that's happening for the company?
We'll come to the company's profits later. It's making a lot of money, believe me. Where exactly it is making profits, it won't give you the breakup that from Street View I am making this much, from Gmail I am making this much, from AdSense I am making this much. They won't give you the breakup that way, but it's making a lot of money. So this is the view I captured at that point in time. There is something called Google Translate. So just like we saw that idea ad that someone coming to Mumbai can talk to someone else on the phone and learn Marathi, here you don't even need someone at the other end of the line. You can translate things yourself. So I'll again demo this. Let us say my driver does not know English. He wants to talk to someone in Hindi.
Namaste.
He said, "Tumhara naam kya hai?" It says, "What is your name?" This app is available on devices like this and even phones like iPhone and Android phones. You are traveling abroad. Let's say you are traveling to a European country. You don't know French or Spanish or something. Please take me to the airport. I spoke to the device. It spoke that thing in Chinese. Now, let's say if we want to hear it in Hindi, please take me to the airport.
Why are they building?
So if you are traveling, this same thing can come in, let's say, French, if you want. Any language.
But you need a Wi-Fi connection for this.
It has a Gujarati option, but Gujarati is very early. So Gujarati you can use only if you want a good laugh. It translates it very badly currently, but it's improving every day. It doesn't take abuses. So if you say cuss words, it will put the first alphabet and it will do star 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 and it will not translate. It recognizes that it's a bad word.
Only for this app, you need Wi-Fi or this is built in with this?
You can pre-translate a lot of phrases. If you expect,
keep it ready.
You can keep it ready. So those phrases that you have used recently, it will speak out on its own without a internet connection.
But this is an iPad.
It works on iPad. It works on Android phones. They'll probably have applications for other operating systems or any mobile phone with internet connection. You can go to the browser and do this same thing. This is internet. So
from Apple iPad, can you go into Google?
Yeah, this is a Google app loaded on an Apple iPad. This is a Google app. App has been created by Google.
From iPad you can go to anywhere.
So when I was saying that you don't even need to be literate, if your phone accepts voice commands, you speak to the phone, it will search for something and give you the results in voice format, possibly in a year or two. So language barrier has already been broken. Literacy barrier, it's still a little time away. Gmail, a lot of people would be familiar with. Similar to Gmail, there's a program for businesses. So our company uses this. All our email is hosted by Google. So my email ID is hosted by Google. My ID at ppfas.com, it comes here. And for this, they charge businesses fees. Now, very large corporations are moving to Google. So Microsoft is gradually losing market share in the business space. Microsoft Exchange and those kind of servers are getting outdated. Here, it's also offered in all of these languages. So the search engine is not restricted to English. In Google Marathi, I typed Sakhar, so it gave me all these recommendations. Am I searching for Sakhar Karkhana or Sakhar or whatever? These are the results for Sakhar Karkhana. There's a Wikipedia in Marathi also. So internet is not just for those people, those speaking English. You can speak any language and you can be using internet. Same thing for Facebook, it's already there in Hindi. And now, is this all, okay, gadgets and all, it's fun to use, as consumers will benefit, but are they making any money? That is the question. Should we invest in this company? Look at the numbers. It has revenues of $30 billion, not small by any stretch of imagination. As compared to Reliance Industries is $57 billion. But look at the profits. 8 billion versus 2.6 billion. And this 8 billion profit is after giving their employees all those facilities that we saw in the beginning, and after spending $3 billion on research and development. Each year they spend that much amount in bringing new products, which is not even considered in the current profits.
Here are all the benefits Mukesh has taken in that building.
But of course, oil refining is a low margin business. Here, look at the margins. It's a very high margin. market cap of $157 billion versus Reliance's $63 billion. And personal net worth of Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who are 38 and 37 years old, is $20 billion each. They are first generation entrepreneurs. They have not inherited any wealth from their parents, as compared to $27 billion over here for a second generation person. Come to think of it, their age is similar to that of mine. Makes me wonder what I have been doing all these years. And I'll borrow a line from Maruti. It says, even in relation to a space shuttle or luxury yacht, it says kitna deti hai, mileage kitna deti hai. As value investors, we have to ask, kitna kamati hai company? Finally. So share prices, sometime back it was 482, I don't know today's price, it should be thereabouts. Price to book of only 3 times, it's not very expensive. Price earning ratio based on trading earnings around 18.5, 19 times. And it's growing so fast based on next year's earnings, which is 2012 earnings, it's actually only 12 to 13 times. And even these multiples do not account for a lot of cash they are holding. We saw their book value is 1/3 of this. So they have around $120 or whatever, $150 or $160 of book value. Most of it is cash. So even from a value investing perspective, it's an incredibly cheap company. The only thing which is not in favor of this company is the nature of the sector, because things keep changing. You can have a 10-year visibility, 20-year visibility on a Coca-Cola or a Gillette, but here it's difficult to envisage that. However, companies which will dominate this sector, my feeling is Google will definitely be one of them, because the entry barriers that they have created are so large that it is almost impossible to dislodge them. They are the world's largest computer manufacturers, but no one has bought a computer from them because they consume all of them. They have football-sized server farms, football field-sized server farms, which store all their servers, which stores all the data that we generate. It is a recruiter of the best minds in the world. So most of the brilliant people from India, people who graduate from IITs and all, eventually end up working there. That's why we saw that reference to Indian cuisine. A lot of senior people are Indians in this. People who do their engineering in India, go for PhD or higher studies in US universities, and straight get picked up by companies like Google. If these guys were not making search engines and all these wonderful products, they would be probably doing space exploration or sending rockets to the moon. The size of fiber optic cables and servers and all the algorithms that they have scanned a big proportion of all the books that are there in the world for people to be able to access those. There is litigation going on whether they should be allowed to give that information to people. They have data on people's search habits. So they keep learning. Each time we do a Google search, they improve their understanding of human behavior and human languages. So when we search for something hot, it means something which has a high temperature. When we search for dog, it means a four-legged. Some 70% market share in US in terms of search queries. Microsoft would be around 10-15%. Distant number 2. In Europe, they would be having close to 90% market share. India again they would be having 90-95% market share. They are not doing so well in China because there is a local competitor, and China anyway does not want uncensored results. They want to control their internet for political purposes. Russia also, they are not that dominant, but otherwise it's almost a monopolistic company. There's hardly any company which can take this head on. It's something which is going to dominate at least in the near future. Just 5 days back it's launched something called Google Plus. There is a possibility that it might give serious competition to even Facebook for social networking. So this is the company that I wanted to talk about today. I think it makes an excellent investment. Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's partner, read a book called In the Plex, and he called it the most significant learning he had in the past year. It's a company which both Buffett and Munger admire tremendously, despite having Bill Gates on their board of directors. But it's a company they will never invest in because they can't see 20 years in the future. However, they have said that they will probably employ people who are experts in technology and who will take these technology investment decisions for them. So what was new economy 10 years back is now becoming old economy. It is a significant part of our lives. In fact, it's also mainstream. The biggest e-commerce site in India is IRCTC, which is Indian Railways. Train tickets is the biggest e-commerce business in India. So it's not just the elite who are using internet, it's down to the people, and if things go right, I think this is a multi-bagger script from a many-year perspective.
But how do you buy this share?
You open a US brokerage account, you transfer dollars and you purchase it.
This company is a search engine basically. That's how it started.
It started as a search engine, but today it's a search engine, it's an email company, it's a news aggregator, it's a video company, it is a map navigation company,
So
it's a translation company, it's a
But they are
social
not
networking
tangible.
company.
They are not tangible assets.
Tangible is computers, that's what.
Like, for Reliance you are comparing.
It doesn't have a oil refinery.
Doesn't have the factory.
It's all intellectual property.
People and technology.
People and technology.
It's actually intellectual property. You're investing in it.
How you compare this with Apple?
Apple is facing competition from Google in terms of Android. Google is not facing competition from Apple. Apple doesn't have a search engine plan. Facebook is facing competition from Google in terms of Google Plus, which has been launched 5 days back. Google doesn't have competition from Facebook. Facebook doesn't have any plans for a search engine. Amazon faces competition from Google. Google sells books like Amazon and whatever. Android devices can also function as e-book readers. So all of these companies somewhere face competition from Google. But Google is not competing with them.
But Apple recently, I was reading that they are launching a cloud thing as well as on the
Correct.
they have the Microsoft.
Correct.
So how that is going to from investment, whether because like Apple really understand what to
Apple is also incredibly cheap. Apple is also somewhere about 13 times earnings and so on. However, currently Apple has almost 80-90% share in the tablet computer devices. So iPads are the best sellers today. Android, iPhone has been beaten by Android already. iPhone is not the number one smartphone operating system.
HTC and all those.
iPads will in this year and next face serious competition from Android tablets, and they will rapidly lose market share. Also, Apple, in my opinion, too heavily dependent on its CEO, Steve. Here it's a big team. Apple too dependent on selling hardware devices. Here, multiple possible streams of revenue, although currently dependent on search and display advertising, but they have numerous possibilities in terms of future growth drivers. Between the two, I would opt for Google.
All their management, other than those two promoters.
Those two promoters, there's a professional CEO who was brought in, who's now the chairman, Eric Schmidt, and a lot of senior vice president, senior level people, a lot of them Indians. It has a lot of depth in terms of management.
What's the face value of the share?
I don't know the face value. I don't think that face value concept is that popular in the US. It works on number of shares. More relevant would be the book value. So per share they have cash and assets worth around $160.
What is the price?
482 was.
And how it has grown in the last 5 years, the value of the shares?
It's doubled its profits in last 2 years. It's been a multi-bagger since its listing. Last 2 or 3 years, its share price has stagnated. It hasn't grown much, which is giving this opportunity. Earnings have doubled in last 2 to 3 years, and share price has not done anything. That's why it's.
Now what happens is if you invest abroad, like you said, regulation wise $200,000, when you get profits or dividend or you sell, you can hold those.
You can hold it in dollar terms, you can bring it back.
It becomes part of the 200,000 per year?
No.
That is over and above.
Over and above.
That's also an advantage.
About the dividends which you will get from there, that will be again taxed there, or the money
Why will you?
Dividend is, you have to assume, will be taxed at 30%, 25% in the US, 5% here. And capital gains will be taxed at 20% in India, not in the US, subject to inflation indexation benefit. So net capital gains tax should be around 10%. Google, however, does not pay a dividend. It redeploys all its cash. So it's also, it has a war chest of billions and billions of dollars, which it uses to continuously acquire promising companies. So that advantage it has over the others keeps growing as years go by.
So you can't sell.
So it's basically capital appreciation only.
It is basically capital appreciation. You should not invest if you are looking at a dividend yield kind of thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeev.